Hello, my night owls. Welcome back to Late Night Play Reviews with your boy. This is going to be my abridged version of an Octoroon. It won't go into as many details as long ones. If you want more details, go check out the 16-minute one. Alright, let's jump right in. It was written by Dion B. He was born in Dublin, Ireland in 1820 and died in New York City in 1901. He was accredited as one of the most conspicuous English playwrights in the 19th century in his obituaries. So clearly, very popular. He was best known for his melodramas on both sides of the sea, i.e. both in Europe and in America. He worked in both places. It was wild. Now this is a tragic mulatto. The specific instance of tragic mulatto is that our main character Zoe, or Octoroon, is 1/8 black. And the tragic mulatto part is that she falls in love with a white man because she's white passing, and has all the privilege of white passing and being free from slavery, technically speaking, until tragedy happens, hence the tragic part of the tragic mulatto. But that'll come more in the play. Now Zoe, our aforementioned protagonist, the main character of this play, not only does she only have about 2 sentences of time on stage, which is a whole other issue. However, she's also just been recently freed by Mrs. Peyton, who owns the plantation now, as her husband, Mr. Peyton, has died. And yet, tragedy strikes. But not right away. We'll get to that. Zoe falls in love with a white man named George. Another girl also falls in love with George. Her name's Dora. We don't like her. She's your problematic least fave. Essentially, there's a classic love triangle going on, and in the midst of all this, the antagonist of the production shows up, McCloskey. Well, the antagonist from a contemporary standpoint. McCloskey rolls in and steals the paperwork that shows that Zoe is not a slave anymore, but is instead a free woman. And he also steals the $50,000 that would be needed to pay for the plantation, so they would not have to sell it, so Mrs. Peyton could keep it and keep it operating. And then, now keep in mind, this McCloskey guy also kills little Paul, who is just a child, and that's kind of a dick move if you ask me. Regardless. The plantation is sold, and as are all the slaves still attached to it, which includes Zoe, because her paperwork was stolen. So what we're left with is Zoe telling George to go be with Dora, because they can get married. They can legally be together. Everything's fine for those two. And of course, George is sad and says, "No, I want to be with you." And Zoe gets sold into slavery to none other than McCloskey himself. And she decides, nope, this is it. Fuck this. I'm not working for this guy. I'm not going to be his slave. I know what he wants to do. I'm not dealing with that. So she just kind of gets some poison and takes it like a shot and dies. But right after she dies, Scudder shows up with proof. With the proof that she was free and that she wasn't a slave, and that the money was stolen. And I'm gonna note one thing before I end this, folks. Scudder and George were both European, because that made it okay for them to behave like this. Anyway, she dies at the end. George is sad. McCloskey's pissed and sad, kinda, I guess. I don't know. Don't really talk about that much. And the Native American is severely underappreciated and also one of my favorite characters in this entire play. That is my abridged version of my review of this play. I hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and check out the long one if you want more details and more on how I actually feel about this. Let me know in the comments below if you would have added anything to this version. Alright guys, sleep well.